Hi, Clark Reid back with some tech headlines for you today. If you like the reports, give us a little like. Tap that like button. A little love pat is all it needs. And you can also subscribe, and then you'll know when every new report is up and ready for you. A folding Apple phone may or may not happen anytime soon, if at all. But apparently, Cupertino is seriously working on a 20-inch screen MacBook with a folding screen. MacRumors.com reports noted analyst Ming-Chi Kuo is saying Apple's only foldable product with a clear development schedule is the 20.3-inch MacBook, expected to enter mass production in 2027. Right now, the largest screen MacBook is the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Apple did have a 17-inch screen laptop for a while, but it dropped that model clear back in 2012. Kuo says the 20-inch MacBook is Apple's only foldable product with a clear development schedule, suggesting that a foldable iPhone or iPad are not coming anytime soon. Google's Pixel phones have been making inroads and penetration in the smartphone market, and no place more than in Japan. The phones, with their amazing software-assisted cameras, are really seeing huge sales growth. According to 9to5Google.com, an IDC report shows Pixel sales are up 527% year over year from 2022 to 2023. That gives Google 10.7% market share in Japan. Apple's phones continue to hold a huge share of the market there, as do, surprisingly, Sharp phones. Sharp retains a large share of market due to the demand for phones designed for elderly, not necessarily cutting-edge devices. Oh, thank you. Meanwhile, Samsung's Galaxy shipments to Japan have dropped off by some 39%, and that's where Google is picking up a lot of its sales. Scientists have discovered a surprisingly simple way to remove microplastics from drinking water. We're hearing that in the drinking water and in the ocean and in our bodies now and all over the place, these little microplastic particles. Well, this sounds almost like magic, but BGR.com says researchers at a couple of universities in China ran some tests on both hard and soft tap waters. First, they boiled the water, and then they just run it through a filter. And they were able to remove 90% of the microplastics. The results were published in Environmental Science and Technology Letters. The boiling left the microplastics trapped in the crusty, chalky stuff that forms when you boil water in a kettle or a pot. The scientists said a filter as simple as a stainless steel mesh, like used to strain tea, is enough to filter out most of the lime-encrusted plastic pieces that are left behind after you boil the drinking water. Hopefully, bottled water makers will be adopting this cheap, simple process too. And kids, do try this at home if you want to. One cool thing about science, often a new breakthrough is made while looking for something else. And now the co-creator of graphene, along with a group of scientists, have another breakthrough material. Konstantin Novoslov and the team say the new material lets them create a novel form of light manipulation. The nextweb.com reports they had been working on smart contact lenses, and they discovered the materials, which they dubbed RES2 and RESE2, not only could help with that, but were more powerful than expected. They can adjust the wavelength of light and change its direction up to 90 degrees. The scientists see a potential in applications for medicine, AI, and AR. And for contact lenses, the startup Zampico says they believe the use of the new material could provide faster and cheaper blood testing using Raman spectroscopy, a much lower cost of doing the tests, and it gives apparently much better performance. And they also see the possibility of earlier detection of things like COVID and even cancer. It'll be a while before we see all these benefits, but it is a pretty amazing discovery. I'm Clark Reid, and you're Technified for now.